Now let's add another testing scenario related to this base select component. And in that scenario, we're going to check that after clicking on this reset button, we are expecting to reset seconds to complete property of an activity object. And when we are resetting the select box, the select event payload, which is this $event special variable, is going to contain null value, which means the second part of this OR expression will be used as a value for the new amount of seconds to complete, which is 0. And the reason why this $event variable is going to store null value after we're gonna reset the select element is that in here, when we click on the base button component, which is that reset button, we're going to fire select handler with null value, and then this null value is going to end up inside normalize select value function. And if we'll take a look at the implementation of this function, here we can see that if value equals to null, the first part of this ternary expression will be executed, meaning that that same value that we have received as a parameter will be eventually returned from this function. And that is why the payload of this select event in this case will be null. So let's just prove that this is really the case and create new testing scenario to check it. In here I'm going to specify the following description. It updates seconds to complete field of an activity object to 0 in case no period is selected, or in other words, when select box is reset. So implementation of this testing scenario will be very similar to the previous one, with the difference that in here we have to specify a different payload for this select event. Since we are resetting the value of this element, we're going to specify null, just like we have seen before. In this case, the updated amount of seconds to complete will be 0. So let's create updated seconds to complete constant and set it to 0. Expectations will remain the same. Here we're basically checking that original activity object will be updated and the updated seconds to complete value, which is 0 in this case, will be set to seconds to complete property of an activity object. And here we go, the test is already passing. But the moment I'm going to update that OR expression, of course in this case the test is going to throw an error. Or if we're going to completely get rid of this OR expression and assign null value to seconds to complete property, in this case as well, we're gonna get test failure. And that is actually all we have to do regarding this test. Now we just have to check that all tests in the project are passing successfully. And they are. Let's continue in the next lesson.